Hi, welcome to Morning Motivation Show. My name is Solomon Okeke, and I am so delighted that you're here to listen to what I have to say. I want to assure you that we're going to have a swell time together and you're going to get a whole lot of value. And at the same time, I want to encourage you that whenever you get this value and whatever you learn from these lessons, that you should put them into practice, because just like I've said in virtually all my broadcasts on this channel, that nothing moves until you move it. No knowledge becomes power if not acted upon. Yeah, it's been a wonderful period for the past 2 days. We've been talking about leadership, we've been talking about value based leadership. That's the series. And then we've been talking about people's opinion, people's view on who a leader is. And we've talked about what John C. Maxwell, who is a leadership expert and a coach, a writer, and a pastor, what he said, who he said a leader is. And we've also talked about Dr. Miles Monroe of blessed memory, his definition of leadership, and they are wonderful. I want to refer you to those broadcasts in case you've not listened to them. Please go back to them and listen. You're going to be blessed, I assure you. Okay, what they actually talked about has a link to what I am about to tell you, but this is the ultimate for me, and it cuts across every other definition of leadership that has to do with transformative and transformational leadership, right? It cuts across it because value-based leaders are leaders who lead by values and principles, who do things according to what it should be. And the scriptures, that's the Bible, has the basis, has a basis and is the standard for leaders. And I want to share with you uh, the Bible's viewpoint on who a leader is. You're going to enjoy it. I just want you to pay attention so that you get you get the gist. Okay, I'll be taking you through the scriptures and I will share a story with you, but I may not read everything, so I'll read some part, but not everything, so that you'll be able to grab what I I have to say. This is Matthew chapter 20, and then from verse 20 to 28. This is a story of the mother of Zebedee's children. That's the mother of John and James. And when she came to Jesus and she knelt down before the Lord and said, and wanted to ask him of something. And the Lord said, "What am I going to do for you? What do you want?" So the woman said, uh, "Say that my two sons may sit, one at your right hand side and the other one at your left hand side when you become king." Now, the answer Jesus gave her was a very suitable one. Jesus said, you don't know what you're even asking." And now he now started asking the young guys, "Are you going to suffer what I will suffer? Are you going to baptize with the baptism that I'm baptized with?" And they said, "Yes, we are able." Jesus said, "You will suffer as I will suffer, but the place at my right side and my left side are not mine to give you. Whoever my Father says will have those places, will have them." And maybe the woman left them. The scripture didn't record it, but the scripture in verse 24 of the same chapter said that the 10 other followers, that's the 10 other disciples, had this, and they were angry at the two brothers. They would be like, what do you think? What do you take us for? Like the same anger that swelled up in the hearts of Joseph's brother when he was telling them about his dream. I think that's the same anger that swelled up in their hearts, in the hearts of the other 10 followers. Actually, these people have been with Jesus. They've learned what Jesus has taught them a lot, but they didn't learn that they should keep calm. They didn't learn that it's not in their making to be annoyed because of what these people did. So When they had it, they were like, what do you think of us? And all that and all that. And Jesus said, I want to read this from the New Living Version, NLV, yeah, New Life Version actually. And Jesus, verse 25, Jesus called them to him and said, you know how the kings of the nations show their power to the people. You have to note this. He said, do you know how the kings of the nations show their power to the people? That's how oh my goodness. It feels like Jesus knew what's going to happen, what's going to be happening in the system of the world at this point. Because this is the situation where we are in. The kings of the nations, they show their powers on the people. Important leaders, like people who feel that they are important leaders, they use their power over the people. And Jesus said, it must not be that way with you. But whoever wants to be great among you, let him care for you. Whoever wants to be the first among you, let him be your servant. For the Son of Man came not to be cared for, he came to care for others. He came to give his life so that many could be bought by his blood and made free from the punishment of sin. Now, the emphasis is on whoever wants to be the first among you, let him be your servant. Whoever wants to be great among you, let him care for you. This is the definition of leadership. Whoever wants to become the leader should be the servant. But what we have in the world at this point is just a different thing altogether. So many people want to be the leader, but their intentions and their motives are not correct. They want to be the leader because they see that as a money-making venture. That's the only way they can be able to siphon funds and nobody will question them. Especially in countries where corruption is the order of the day. Nobody questions them because they have the power, they have the authority, and they have the immunity. Now, the leadership doesn't end in the kings of the nations. It's not confined to the kings of the nation. Leadership is even in your family, in your house, even within yourself. So whoever wants to lead in that house, whoever wants to be the leader in that house, should be ready to care for the rest of the people in the house. That is leadership according to the scriptures. That is leadership according to what God says. So leadership is supposed to be on the basis of servanthood. Leadership is supposed to be on the basis of selflessness. Not people who want to be at the right hand side and at the left hand side of the king when he is already the king, not when he is suffering. They don't want to be at his right hand side and left hand side now that he's suffering. Because if actually they wanted to be at the left hand side and the right hand side, you know what they would have been? They would have been the people, they would have been in the positions of the thieves that were crucified with Christ. But they don't want to be that. They want to be at his right hand side and his left hand side when he's already the king. So what do you think about this that the Bible says? This is this is a system that has been functional and should be made a lifestyle by leaders. Servanthood. Servanthood. I think I'm going to stop here. I want to know what you think about today's episode, and I want to have your suggestions, comments, your questions, and of course, you want me to put you on this broadcast. I will put you on the spot. I promise you that. If you want to appear on my channel, I will put you on the spot. It's a promise. I love you from the depth of my heart. Until tomorrow, do stay safe. My name is Solomon Okeke.